that we think should be on, or we need to give another moment or two?
Looks to me like we have a quorum.
Yes, I see Todd there.
Yes, I'm here. Todd's here.
Gene, I thought I saw Jim.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, I think we got everybody today. So we will declare the meeting called to order and that we have a quorum. Everybody has the minutes from our September meeting. Any question about any of those minutes? Motion to approve?
Chris, I make the motion to approve. Jim Carr.
Second, Todd seconds.
Second. All right, I think the procedure these days is to do a roll call vote. So let's vote on the motion that's made. Todd, how do you vote?
Todd votes yes. Oh, yay or
Yay, we got
yay.
it.
Yay.
Any of the above. Gene?
Who?
Gene,
Yeah,
Gene, can you hear me to vote?
I abstained. I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay. Gene votes aye. Jim?
Aye.
Rob? Rob, did you respond?
Yes, I said aye.
Okay, okay. My hearing's
You got muted, yeah.
And Chris votes aye, so the motion to approve the minutes passes. Moving on down the agenda, David, you ready to give our financial results? For
I am. Another very good month at Country Hills. We did 2,890 rounds, 2,890. That was 590 rounds more than the budget being 2,300. And incidentally, that was the most rounds. The spreadsheet that's always attached to your package that you receive has an 8-year history of rounds on it. And the 2,890 rounds was more than any September in the last 8 years. And year to date, we're 20,462 rounds. 20,462, and that's more rounds for the first 9 months of the calendar year than any year in the past 8 as well. So rounds wise, as we might expect with the performance we've had in the last few months has resulted in some great totals, both monthly and year to date. The income for the month was $105,000. That was almost $23,000 above budget and about $18,000 more than September of last year, 20% more than September of last year. Our operating expenses, it's a little bit of a black cloud for the month, $72,000, which was $18,632 above budget. And as noted, we have attached to in the package, there's a memo from Lynn explaining the basic, the big amounts that comprising most of overage expenses. But even with the overage expenses,
Something happened to your audio, Dave.
I'm still showing it's on.
Now you
I can hear you now. You just went away.
The net cash flow was $11,668, which was $22 above budget, so right on budget in spite of the overage in expenses we had for the month, which, as I said, Lynn will get to. We were on budget from a net cash flow standpoint. Year to date, our
Thank
income,
you. You got both sheets, right?
There should be.
Yep. Okay.
year to date, our income's $85,000 above budget,
That changes the.
$76,000
I didn't
more
change times, that's not a problem.
last
All you
year.
have to put in the- But it's already in there, we said times,
And our-
I'll just start at noon with the Civitan bunch
yeah.
on the A7th.
Yep.
And that won't be a problem.
Cool, sounds good.
Yep.
Hey Keith, I made it.
The operating expenses year to date were $15,000 above budget. Our net cash flow year to date, $97,800, $97,834, which is $54,400 more than budget and about the same number more than last year. So we're in good shape for the month and good shape year to date. At the end of September, we had a cash balance of $176,672. As of this morning, Country Hills had a cash balance of just over $184,000. So good month, good year to date. Any questions from anybody?
All right, don't hear any questions. Next item on the agenda is a review of the golf operations by Brad. Brad on?
Brad is among the missing this week. He's on vacation this week. So Chris, that I'll give his month-to-date report.
Okay,
Through yesterday, through the 18th, which was 58% of the days in the month, we had 80% of the budgeted rounds were done. So 58% of the days, we had 80 percentage of the rounds, 1,517 rounds versus a 1,900 a round budget. And on the income side, almost the same thing. We had 79% of budgeted income in the bank. And once again, 79% of income in 58% of the days. So year to date, a month to date, I should say, we're doing very well at this point.
very good, very good. Any questions for David on that report? All right, let's move on to Lynn's report on golf course maintenance operations.
Saw Lynn's face.
Can't hear you, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn.
I can hear him, but he's in the desk next to me.
Maybe you need to trade places with him. I don't know.
Let's talk louder.
Yeah, it looks like he's coming to you, Dave.
What location?
All right, sorry about that. Damn, this is a pain. All right, is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
All right. All right. Sorry about that, gentlemen, but just briefly to report, as David mentioned, we've had about 4 items or 4 categories in which the expenses were higher than budgeted. We had moved through this time frame knowing that we had a income excess and we had some items that needed to get either repaired or purchased, which we kind of took care of. You can see those in my memo. Just briefly, we had a a higher than normal expense in 62,603, which is golf course maintenance. Basically, the majority of that was the tree removal, subcontracted tree removal at 7 and 8, and sand for top dressing. In equipment repair, as our equipment ages, we'll continue to see this line item increase. We have some tractor repairs and Greensmore repairs in this category. Kind of a codes issue or a codes deal as it relates to fire suppression for the grill. And if you look at 62,604 and 62,605, it's a timing of purchases and billings for the chemicals and fertilizer. But at the end of the day, they balance out year to date. We spent the majority of our time in October, about 5 people per day, on just general mowing of the golf course. I think we've made some slight improvements on greens and have moved forward in the overall appearance of the golf course as it relates to that because of the reduced growth. In October, we've completed greens aeration on October 5th, had a really good day there. With that being the first Monday that we were closed, we were able to take our time, get the sand drug in appropriately, and kind of had a really good drying day in order for that to happen. Since then, we've done some additional top dressing, but we've got, in addition, in early October, we've done some overseeding with ryegrass on tees, some additional top dressing, greens, and fertilizer applications. Public Works helped with some spot cart path patching throughout the golf course, especially on 15, and some turbine. We as we discussed at the last meeting, we've received our turbine blower. It came in last Friday. Bunker sand was delivered on the middle of last week and will be installed in the next month or so. And the smoothing of the cart path at number 6 will be completed by the end of October. But that's kind of where we've been and where we are relating to the golf course maintenance aspect of the golf course before I go into kind of the estimated cash balance and the cart bid recap. Any questions there?
Lynn, this is Todd.
Yes, sir.
How much does that turbine blower cost?
It's going to cost if you look at it's a little over $7,000. To be exact, $7,016.40.
And it works, huh?
It works very well.
You've already started using it?
Yes, sir. We utilized it last Friday and today.
And it's working like we want it to, right?
Yes, sir.
Your voice is fading.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
What does it do, Lynn? What does it do, the turbine?
It's just basically it's a blower that's a self-contained apparatus that we pull behind a utility cart, and we can utilize that to blow tees, greens, et cetera, in other areas in order to kind of clean the area of debris and or leaves. And that's kind of the reason we moved forward in this projection.
Gotcha. I know what you're talking about now. Thank you.
Yeah, Jonathan, it enhances the golfer's experience and kind of tends to remove a nuisance in the fall, and that's trying to find your ball among the leaves.
Yeah, I was going to say it'll save a lot of balls.
In time too, because we now have 2, in the past we've had to do greens with backpack blowers, and this thing has a lot more force, and we kind of end up with a 2 or 3 for 1 scenario where we're replacing 3 guys with 1.
Oh, I've seen them work. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Lynn, you mentioned the cart path bid. I think that we're ready to probably go on to other business, which would include the cart path bid. I was at the bid opening Friday, and Lynn has mentioned the blower arrived. When the blower arrived and the bids were open, it was declared to be a good day for Country Hills.
Yeah.
And I think you can, having heard the blower arrival and its use prompted by Todd's question, and you've gotten some numbers from Lynn. Lynn, you want to go ahead on into new business and talk about the bid?
Yes, sir. Just briefly, I had sent the commission just prior to this meeting kind of the bid tab. We had bids from the 3 companies as we expected: Club Car, EasyGo, and Yamaha, and have ended up with the good news of an under budget purchase for the apparent low bidder a delivery in approximately 30 to 45 days, probably more like 45 days. And the ability to add to the base bid to the existing golf carts a work cart, a range picker, which is currently the one we're operating with, is a 2006 and a pair of 2006 work carts, for a total of $165,557.
That's easy go.
Yes, easy go.
And again, kind of framing that against our discussions with the city. The discussions with the city are at 175, and being able to come in below that and get the things that we want, I think, gives credibility to Country Hills and the effort that is being made.
Are these gas carts?
Yes, they're gas carts, Mr. Trammell. Yes, sir.
I think Lynn and I at the bid opening, we've discussed, and you can see the numbers for yourself, but
Yeah, I got the numbers.
I think we're somewhat amazed and that at the residual value in the 66 carts that we're trading in. And one of the things that was anxious and one of going forward was, is that trade-in value that we had a few months ago, is it going to hold up? And it seems like it has, correct, Lynn?
Yes, sir. Seems to be.
Okay.
Right at 150, isn't it?
Depending on where they put their money, between $140,000 and $150,000. Yes, sir, Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
they can
Carter.
move it around between.
Have we ever had easy go out there at the course?
Yes, sir. Mr. Trammell, if you'll recall, the original cart fleet was Easy Go. And if you look at the trend over the industry for the last 6 months to a year and a half, Easy Go has won several activities, and they've got a very good cart now. And you can look, we're the numbers at the end of the day were very close. I mean, you had 4,100, 4,300, and 4,225 round numbers. So that's pretty close. When you start multiplying by 66 or 72, the numbers spread out just a little bit.
If I remember correctly, we didn't get all that good of service out of these Easy Goes when we first
That
opened.
was about 15 years ago.
Yeah, but they don't have a real good reputation. That's why I was wondering.
I feel better about the vehicle now, Mr. Trammell, than I did 15 years ago.
Okay, well, you're the man with the plan.
About that, but
where will we be getting our service?
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Who will be doing our service on those?
They have a mobile tech that just like the Yamaha, just like the current fleet does, that comes in services to each facility.
Okay.
And there's parts today. Parts are kind of coming out of anywhere. In this day and time.
China.
I hope not. But anyway, just and the timeline of the equation. In talking to Easy Go earlier today, if we place an order today and I see Mr. Manning's on, at some point I'll probably reach out to him at some point to make sure we're all in accordance with the original resolution or ordinance. But it seems like I think we are at this point. If we placed an order today, we would be 45 days from now, which would be the middle of December, and we would have net 30 terms, which the city would potentially have a payment due in late December or January for those carts, and then Country Hills would start making that repayment. In my mind, I think we start making that up to the commission at least, obviously, but in my mind, I think we could start making that payment in December based on our current cash flow situation.
Right. Are these 2020 models or 2021 models?
2021.
21.
Yes.
I don't want anything that's got 2020 on it.
Well said, Gene. Well said.
We'll forget about it.
Lynn, would this have been your first choice anyway? Do you like the Easy Go more than the others, or?
Either way, I mean, a golf cart's a golf cart, Mr. Hayes. I mean, at the end of the day, we've gotten very good service. At this point, this will be we've had, during our tenure at Country Hills, we've had Easy Go, we've had Club Car, we've had Yamaha, and they've all survived through the process.
And how long will the warranty last where they cover the unit to come by and work on them?
I mean, they'll obviously work on them for a fee forever, but let me look back. I think we're dealing with a 4-year. I can share that to you later on, Mr. Hayes,
Okay.
if that's, but basically I think we're dealing with a 4-year warranty on the majority of the, here we go. Lifetime on the frame and workmanship, 4 years on major suspension competition, 4 years on electric on motors, capacitors, batteries, canopy systems.
They must be pretty dependable. That's all I can say. That's awesome.
It looks like the smaller thing is 2 years. The lowest number I see so far, just in a quick review, is 90 days on initial alignment, adjustment, and fastener retightening.
Oh.
So I think that's set up.
What kind of engines it got?
It's a EFI 20 horsepower gas,
Pardon?
electric fuel injected gas engine.
Okay, you sort of broke up there. I didn't get that last
I'm
part.
sorry.
But
Yes,
it is gas. They are gas engines.
Yes, sir. It's a gasoline car.
Good. What do you need from this committee? What do you need for the commission to do?
Basically, I would just, I'm not sure that it's totally necessary, but I would think if the commission would kind of bless our intention to utilize 165 and change of the 170 that was allocated.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a motion to that effect?
Yes, do we want to incorporate in this motion that the repayment would start the month that the carts are received, which we anticipate will be December?
I don't think that would be necessary because that would be part of the ordinance that's set for the funding, and you can always make it start whenever you want.
Okay.
Am I right, Lynn?
That's beyond me, Mr. Trammell, but
Well, I thought you had that pay grade.
But my thought would be that we begin that payment as soon as possible as the golf course repayment to the city.
I will include that in the motion.
Okay, Gene, you want to state your motion then?
Make a motion, we accept the $165,000 bid of Easy Go and that we start repayment as soon as possible.
And I'd second that, Ms. Todd.
All right. Any discussion of that? All right, let's have a roll call vote.
Well, okay, so this is Rob. So at 165, 557, I'm curious, the 4-passenger cart, Lynn, what?
That was put in for the Parks Department to be able to piggyback off this bid if they so desired.
Okay, because I had heard that the Parks Department needed their carts. My kids play soccer, so I've seen what they drive around, so it's probably a good idea. So, okay, so at 60 months, should we put in a dollar amount? My thought would be on this payback is that I would see no issue with beginning in December. I would like to see the entire 60 months utilized.
Yeah, we have currently there's a $3,000 amount in the current budget.
Yeah, it's
and if you look at the adjusted number, Mr. Pointer, that would save about $250 a month.
Yeah, the new number at 165,557 is $2,759.20.
We can make those arrangements with Mr. Manning.
So I would think we would put the dollar amount in the motion.
Where do you see that? Where do you see that information there, Rob?
I'm just dividing 165,557 by 60 months.
Or does that include interest and all that stuff? Or do we don't pay interest?
We don't pay interest.
That's right. Yeah, I got it.
We pay a flat $50,000 till the cart's paid off.
Okay.
Is that right, Lynn?
I think the original intention of the ordinance or the resolution was to take the total number, divide it by a 60-month period, and end up that was the total of the payments.
And that's what I did.
How much difference is that than the 50,000?
20.
Well, 50,000 is not in the equation, Mr. Tramwell. It's a difference in 175 and 165, or approximately $2,760 per month rather than $3,000 per month.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
It comes up 2760.
That's fine.
Roughly, yeah.
We put that in the motion, right?
I'll make that part of the motion.
Yeah.
So are you just going to say 2760 or 3,000?
I would suggest just say 3,000.
Yeah, but we'll be paying 2760.
Right.
Hey guys, I think this is Jim. I think there's still, and Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's still some talk back with what they're going to do in the parks. I don't know if we need to put a dollar figure in the motion, if we just need to go ahead and say the 60 payments, because I think there's a couple of things that are still going to be. I don't want those decisions to be handcuffed by us being off $5. So if we can just say, total amount in 60 payments, I think that covers the figure, doesn't it?
To start in December or?
To start in December, right? I'm fearful of actually putting a number, a specific number, because something can change in 30 minutes and that number is going to be wrong, and then we have to go to revote that motion. It's so specific.
Or maybe Ed Delivery, if that's okay.
Ed Delivery. We wouldn't necessarily start in December if the cart's not here.
Start repayment the month of delivery?
Yes.
Is there, okay, is that the language we have that,
Are you writing all this down?
you writing all this down?
Yeah. I done forgot what I said.
Well,
It's just, now the motion is to accept the 165.57 with monthly payments, whatever that is, at 27 or 3,000, whichever one you want to use, and until it's repaid.
well, do we, as was suggested, do we want to put the monthly figure in, or just say that we accept the bid at that with the repayment over 60 months?
Over 60 months. I think that'd be the best thing
Not
to
the
do.
specific number as was
Right.
suggested.
You tie yourself down when you use a specific
that's
number.
right.
With a little
I think
bit
that's
with
a
the
good-
financial payments back to the city. Can you get on the golf course call?
All right. So I think we have a motion to accept the bid of go at the 165,557 to start the repayment of the purchase loan to the city the month that the carts are received upon the month of their delivery. I think that's the motion that we have before us.
That's close enough.
All right,
Mr. Chairman, can I ask one question, please?
sure.
I agree. I wouldn't, with Mr. Carr, I wouldn't put exact figure in there. You're approving the Easy Go company's bid, just from my standpoint.
Yes.
And then the other thing that we discussed a little bit, and I don't know if this could be included in this price, but some work done on those carts that the city is going to be receiving, because those are going to need some work. Seats on them, repair some seats, possibly add some back seats and so forth. Is that possible that we may be looking to add that to the bid also? Or is that part of that? Can we do that?
Is this the cart that's 4 passengers for the parks department?
That and possibly some upgrades or I won't say upgrades, but more repairs to the ones that we're going to be receiving.
Okay.
I wonder if that's part of
I wouldn't think.
motion or if that's a separate repair
I
question.
think they would come under a separate heading.
Lynn, do you have any thoughts on that? How we would
Obviously,
handle that repair?
Obviously, my thoughts, and Andy, you can chime in if you'd like. But at the end of the day, we are we have the ability to cherry pick 6 of the 72 vehicles for use by the parks. In addition, there's a allowance, there's a under budget total of about $9,500 that may or may not be able to be reallocated to be used by the parks because that money's been allocated already. But I don't see tying those two things together. Do you?
I don't
Andy?
either. I think they're separate.
What do you think, Andy?
I would like to know from Robert the best path to use that money that's left over that was allocated to make those repairs happen, if possible.
Likely have to amend the resolution that was originally put forth.
Okay.
Because the resolution that was put forth was not to exceed $175,000 for the purchase of assets. So probably best course of action on our part would be just to amend that, or we could also to satisfy comptroller requirements. I'll be having another resolution on finance committee this month. So it's possible we could talk shortly after this, Andy, and kind of kill two birds, one stone, if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't want to hold up the purchase of the new carts at all. Zero. I don't want to do anything to hold that up. But I would like to be able to utilize the money to repair the 6 that we're going to get too. So whatever the easiest path is for that, sounds like the easiest path for the new carts is to have the committee vote to accept the golf bid from Easy Go, and then maybe put an amendment to a resolution or whatever you need, Robert.
Yeah. So
at the end of the month to use the leftover funds.
I'd like to make one other statement. If the golf course is the one that will end up ultimately using this money, that amending the resolution is fine. If it's a cost that will be incurring, we'd have to have a ordinance to appropriate.
Well, if the golf course could take care of repairing those carts before they give them to us, then I don't sound there may not need to be much done at all.
Well, and Robert, this is Chris. If we do it that way and just handle it as a maintenance expense at the golf course, then we're not mixing expense dollars and capital dollars either.
Yeah.
Right.
Let
So
me ask you this. How much do you think it's going to cost to fix them, Lynn?
I think we can cherry pick and get to a usable fleet. I mean, Andy, the ones you're running now are how?
About 13, almost 14 years old.
We're going to upgrade you to a 7-year-old.
We can beat that. We could probably even do something with the seat cushions too, right?
Right. I mean, our plan was to put new seats on them and add a back seat to them, and if needed, new brakes and tires to whichever ones we got. May not need to do that.
I think maybe the easiest course of action is allow Mr. Manning and Andy and us to kind of figure out the best course of action to move forward.
It's not going to delay the order, right?
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to do that.
So I think we move forward with what we got, and there's a separate issue to deal with on the backside.
Roger that.
I think Chris said a while ago, you can just include that with when we get the new carts, we got the money, just fix up the carts and then turn whatever money's left over goes back into whatever fund it's in.
We'll let Robert tell us what to do on that.
Yeah.
all right, so the motion before us is to approve this bid from Easy Go at $165,557 and to begin the 60-month repayment the month that the carts are received. Is that correct?
That's close enough.
All right, Gene, you've made that motion.
Yes, sir.
And I think originally there was a second by Todd. wasn't it?
Yeah, I second that motion.
All right, let's have the roll call vote. Jim Carr, how do you vote?
Yeah, aye.
Rob?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Gene?
Aye.
Chris, aye. The motion is approved unanimously, and we will proceed with the order, correct?
Roger.
Okay.
That's great work, guys.
Yeah, and you know, again, depending on if there's additional monies to be used or not, I think we have to be pleased that, you know, we could not only operate within, but potentially stay below this 175,000 as far as the credibility of what we're trying to do.
Yep.
And again, I think we get everything we want, and so we'll look forward to that. And I'm sure Lynn will keep everybody posted. When that order is submitted, will we get any more of a fixed delivery date, you think, Lynn?
I think we're just on the timeline of 45 days-ish at this point, but as we move forward, obviously we'll keep everybody informed.
Okay. Are there I've got one thing on under new business, and it's more of a question, and it follows up last month's meeting. I think we said, if I'm stating this right, that when the mask mandate disappeared in the county, that we were going to enforce a policy of the full cart rate on anyone requesting a single cart. Have we done that? If so, what's the reaction been?
I think Brad discussed that last week, and I mean last month, and basically he did say what you just said, that if somebody wants to have a single cart, they still have to pay the whole fee.
And I guess I'm seeking confirmation. Is that actually what we put into practice? Is it in practice now, or?
Right.
Lynn,
I talked with Brad this weekend, Chris, and we came up with a date of November 1st to implement this.
I have a question, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking in terms of a foursome, and the foursome shows up, and one of the foursome wants a single cart. Well, basically, that's going to leave another guy with a single cart. How does that affect his fee? Probably doesn't, does it? He still pays a half a cart, right?
I think so. If he's willing to share the cart, anybody's willing to share a cart pays the regular fee, I would think.
Well, basically, like I was saying, a foursome, if one of the foursome wants a separate cart, then that's going to still be 3 carts. Yeah, but I don't know. That's something that I know Brad and his guys will work out.
Yeah, I think we addressed that before. It was when you had to pay the cart fee when single cart is requested. So the requester is the one. I think we had a little bit of conversation on that last time. So it would cover that, Todd, that if you weren't the one that requested, then Chris, as you said, that they don't pay.
Yeah.
You just luck out.
So
so that, then you have to wonder if somebody's really, really smart and they just have one guy that refuses, so both of them can split a cart fee. But I just don't think that that's going to be as big a problem that needs.
Probably not.
It doesn't need to be policed.
Well, we just have to untrain people in that regard, I assume.
Chris, I got a question. Does any other course charge that?
That's a good question, Gene. And
yes,
did we discuss that last time?
I know, Mike. I know 12 Stones will do it if you request a single cart now. I know there was another course that we played a couple of weeks ago that said the same thing, and I apologize that I don't have that off the top of my head. But
That they did charge that like that, because Brad mentioned that Bluegrass, he mentioned several courses that have gone back to the 2 per cart. But I don't know whether we discussed additional cost, additional charge.
I'm aware of at least one instance where I've been told about it, and one instance where I've heard about it. So
Roger.
Where I was standing behind somebody when they were told that at 12 Stones.
Where was that course?
12 Stones
Oh, okay.
12 stones, okay.
Yeah.
I knew he mentioned several courses.
Okay, so I guess the update is that we anticipate implementing that on November 1st. That's the understanding?
Yes.
Okay. What other items of new business do we have?
Is Lynn out there? Still out there? Hey, Lynn. Hey, one of the members hit me with a pretty good idea a couple of weeks ago. What if anything are y'all planning on doing with, you know, that cart path on hole number 4 where we had the landslide, the mudslide?
We've been kind of working with Trace on that. In addition to the cart path patching that we've been doing, we'll work with him on that.
You know, somebody had a kind of an interesting, I'm going to call it an interesting idea. You know where the cart path ends and then it drops off and it's all gravel and it links up again?
Yes.
Somebody suggested, say, why don't you make a gradual turn right where the cart path is ending right now, instead of finishing it the way it was, maybe do like a S turn and then link it with, you know, that little space.
Right. Nobody uses the cart path where it is now anyway.
Yeah.
Now they go down the hill on the fairway.
Yes.
Right. Which is, it's all tore up down there. But what would happen if a gradual S turn and then just linked with that spot, which then, would that be too tight of a turn to?
I think you could maybe look at rerouting the path from wherever to wherever in amongst rerouting the paths on 7 and 15, as we've kind of indicated in the long-term activity, in order to kind of facilitate somebody being closer to the golf ball is one thing. We just have to do it without getting into play in that area.
Yeah.
It would just take a little bit of a routing and a little bit of comeback though. But I think that's a good idea to get. Anytime you can get somebody closer to an area, they're going to tend to try to utilize that path a little bit better.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like on days when, I mean, everybody uses that lower exit anyway. I mean, it's all rutted up, but on days when it's cart path only, which we experience quite a bit now from November, well into April, nobody likes to walk down, because that little area there, that's kind of the layup area.
Yeah, it is.
It's just a thought, an interesting. I thought it was a fairly interesting idea, actually, and I don't want to spend any more money than we have to. But if it can be done for relatively the same cost, and if you think it's a good idea, I mean.
Now you're talking about just cutting the cart path a little short and then go down the hill.
Well, just
said something about an S curve also.
Right where it ends right now, it's just there's a fairly significant drop off, and then they filled it in with gravel, just kind of where that area is, and then just kind of make a gradual S turn down, and then link with that spot that everybody likes to use to exit the golf course. It's just once you come off and link back with the cart path, it might be a pretty tight turn. I
think you'd have to have in order to keep it out of the landing area, I think you'd have to get a little bit creative.
Yeah.
Well, if you keep it in the landing area, you might get an extra bounce out of it too.
Into somebody's yard.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Lynn. It seems to me that the problem actually is because of a culvert that runs down there. Is that correct? That there's well, maybe not a culvert. Maybe it should be a culvert, but it runs down in that particular area from up above.
Right. Once again, our public works friends helped us out a year or so ago, which created that area that we're talking about, where they diverted the majority of that water where the path would not erode quite as badly. I mean, that started actually in the flood of 2010.
Yeah, right. Sure did.
And FEMA denied our request to have that included within those funds at that point in time. But we can continue to kind of take a look at that over kind of a medium range or a long-term range improvement to the facility.
Yeah, it's just an idea for something different if it makes sense. If not, just an idea. So,
So Lynn, that will go on your project list then?
Yes, sir. I mean, at the end of the day, not to kind of belittle, we provided once again an update of the ending balance of cash for September. And, David kind of reported where we are and then kind of added to that a list of potential improvements, both in the immediate category and more potential items to be shared by Public Works and Country Hills, and then kind of a longer term item. This is not meant to be a end all be all list, but a starting point by which things like, Rob's idea of number 4 can be added. And other things as we move through the process, but just kind of get all these things on paper. At this point, it can be updated after today because we don't need a reserve to cover cart bid overage, and we don't need a purchase repair of range picker cart. So those things can be eliminated, and we can kind of keep that updated as we move forward. Keeping in mind, I think that at this point, the lowest cash balance we project, if we continue to hit our income budget for the next 6 months, would be in the month of March, and we would be at $77,662, which is a vast improvement to negative where we had been utilizing the line of credit from the city. But I think based on a vote a few years ago, the intention of the commission, which could change today, but the intention of the commission was to keep a minimum of $50,000 in that account at all times. And so, we have spent some of that on a blower and some of that on bunker sand to this point today.
Okay. So I think the list is a great starting point. I think we'll add things to it. Hopefully we'll be able to take some things off of it in the future. And, but I think it's a good starting point, and we appreciate that effort that led to it. Is there any other new business before us today? All right, not hearing anything. Again, I would restate that with new equipment receipt and these bids, I think last Friday was a very good day for Country Hills. And we appreciate everybody's effort in making that so, and look forward to the receipt of this equipment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Before you do that, Mr. Maynard, can I mention one thing?
Sure.
You all know that as the board approved this, some of our board members were reluctant because we had not approved a cost of living increase for our city employees. Yes. And at the last meeting, I just want to share with you all the good news that sales taxes are still coming in quite well. And also the IDB, the Industrial Development Board, had some money that they were willing to share with us to go towards COLA. So in the new year, we are giving, it was voted for, and we are going to be giving the cost of living increases to all of our employees. So I'm so grateful that our board made the decision to give this loan, but also they're all very excited that we're going to be able to take care of all of our employees. So just thank you to this board, and thank you to the BOMA.
Yes, very good update. I think as citizens, we all appreciate hearing that that's going to be done. We're sorry we got kind of caught up in it initially, but everything's going to work out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jonathan. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn the commission meeting?
Todd moves that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Roll call vote. Gene, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Todd.
But you're the chairman. You don't need a motion to adjourn. All you guys say is we adjourn.
Well, I'll still vote for it.
I do too.
Well,
I do too.
we'll go through the motions this time, Gene, and since we started it. All right, Jim?
Aye.
Rob?
yes, sir.
Two.
Chris? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you. Hey,
Thank
gentlemen.
you all.
Good report.
I got on this thing. I don't know if it's out.
There's something that says leave the meeting.
Well, yeah, I hit a button. I don't know what it is. Oh, it'll die sooner or later. Okay.
Really important. And the more you hear from teachers who are also very frustrated, they miss their kids, they can't help them when they're remote, and
True.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is work.
One more thing up next.
Remember how to do it next time?
Shit, now. Hopefully next time it's going to be in person.
Hi, I'm William Devane. And right now, there's a serious discussion about who our next president will be. Republican, Democrat, Independent. The future of our country is hanging in the balance, which is why, as a good American, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to vote, and I'm going to buy gold, Roslyn Capital. Buying gold from Roslyn helps protect me against inflation and all that paper money being printed around the world by unstable governments. Whether you want new or old gold or premium collector coins, Roslyn has them all. And what you order is what you get. No gimmicks, no nonsense, no hassle. So do your part to protect your future. Vote and buy gold from Roslyn Capital.
Call Roslyn Capital now to get your free gold kit, free silver kit, and free IRA kit with smart ways you can transfer or roll over your IRA. Call 800-630-8900, 800-630-8900, 800-630-8900.
Oh my God! Yep, that's a real winner. No way! And the next real winner could be you. This is your last chance to win $1,000 a day for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter now at pch.com before it's too late.
Wise Old Dominion #1 in customer satisfaction. These are over 99% on time rate, or how we support the dynamic digital marketplace. Our people never stop working to make your shipping easier. Old Dominion, helping the world keep promises.
Attention, everyone on Medicare.
I have Medicare.
I have Medicare too. The Medicare Advantage and Prescription Drug Plan annual enrollment period is now open.
That means I can finally change my Medicare plan, right?
That's right. Just call 800-731-9962 now to see if you're eligible for new Medicare Advantage plans with Medicare-approved benefits, including dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage.
What additional benefits can I get with a Medicare Advantage plan?
New Medicare Advantage plans may include free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free meal delivery, free prescription drug delivery, and much more. You may also qualify for a plan with $0 premiums, $0 deductibles, and no copays. You don't get these benefits automatically. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. Did you know you may now be eligible for new Medicare Advantage plans with Medicare-approved benefits, including dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage? Just call 800-731-9962 now to see if you qualify. New Medicare Advantage plans may include free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free prescription drug delivery, free rides to medical appointments, and much more. You may also qualify for a plan with $0 premiums, $0 deductibles, and no copays.
How can I make sure that I'm getting the benefits that I deserve?
All it takes is one fast and easy phone call. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify for new Medicare Advantage plans that may include free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free meal delivery, free prescription drug delivery, expanded at-home telehealth visits, and much more. Don't miss out on these new Medicare Advantage plans. Make sure you're getting the benefits you deserve today.
I want these new benefits. I'm calling right now.
There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. Just call 800-731-9962 now. That's 800-731-9962.
Your house brought you together, like really together. And although together is great, together with more space is better. With Rocket Mortgage, you get personalized loan options, closing costs, and tax estimates all in real time. So when you need to know what it takes for a home to fit your budget and your family, you can.
on now for one more thing. I'm going to go first today because my little girl had a birthday. Of course, my little girl is a lawyer, a corporate executive, a wife, and a mother of 3. Time passes, doesn't it? So she had a big girl's birthday party. There she is on our front porch for a COVID-safe birthday party. Her son Eli's next to her as she blows out the candle. And as a gift, she got herself a new puppy to go with to her 2 other dogs.
Wow.
As you can see, her kids had as much fun as their mom at the birthday celebration. So happy birthday to my Ray Ray. No matter how old she is, she's always going to be my little girl, my joy.
Aw.
Jesse.
Well, happy birthday to her, Juan, but I don't mean to be Mr. Dr. Fauci on you, but you're not supposed to be blowing out candles during a pandemic. It's just, it's not.
Even with your family? Okay.
It's not right, Juan.
It's not right.
I'm going to have to write you up for that. All right. Our Rick Leventhal got married to Kelly Dodd last weekend in a beautiful ceremony there in Sonoma, California. Look at those 2 lovebirds. He is just head over heels. And there they are, big crowd there. They had some masks made up, so it was COVID friendly, unlike Juan's daughter's birthday. And there they are. They're dressed in black, very chic. And rumors are that I think he might be taking her last name. Rick Dodd, he's very progressive, that guy.
Are you joking?
We haven't heard. We've reached out to the couple and we're waiting a response.
It'll probably show up in the Daily Mail.
Congratulations, you guys.
Dana Barina.
That's great reporting, Jesse. Okay, so it's been a hectic year. It's been a stressful year, and people have been seeking a little peace and calm. And Juan's daughter got herself a puppy, and a lot of people have gotten themselves dogs. But some people are doing something different: cow hugging. Yes, apparently this is a new thing. Well, it's a wellness trend, Greg, a wellness trend. Reportedly originated in the Netherlands, it's sweeping the globe. According to the BBC, the practice of cuddling cows is supposed to reduce stress in humans by releasing the bonding hormone oxytocin. And this is not my day.
Let me hug that cow for Steve. Let's go up, Steve.
I think you let some oxytocin go in. Anyway,
Wow.
After you hug the cow, do you tip it? 20%.
There you go, Greg.
All right, let's do this. Greg, sports corner. We're not seeing a lot of sports because of the pandemic, and some of the sports I kind of lost interest in, except for soccer. And check out this goalkeeper cat. Pretty amazing.
Whoa.
His skills. Wow. And pocket balls. It's pretty impressive. You have no idea if this is a Zoom call, but this cat is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, and also the fact really remains. I mean, it's kind of everything in slow motion just always looks better.
Not everything, Greg.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. And I apologize for that, Jesse. I didn't know my computer was on. How long are we going to milk this story? Okay, I'm done.
Subtext to everything.
Yes.
Listen.
All right, I have a really special nonprofit I wanted to share with you that is close to my heart, the Police Canine Association. Now, they are headquartered in Ohio, and it was created to help canine handlers get the equipment, training, and education needed to be a successful canine team. They support all of Ohio police and sheriffs, and they just had a 5K run to support the association, but they still need life-saving ballistic vests for 6 of their canines. So you can learn more at policecanineassociation.com.
Awesome.
Does Biden want to defund the canine unit? I think he said that.
Hopefully not, because they deserve everything.
And he's running on raising your taxes. I've never heard anything like this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, especially if you're rich.
Yeah. On you. Richer than I am, Juan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you do owe more.
Well, I hope one day you're the richest man ever, Jeff.
Can we talk about the breaking news?
Hunter, about 20 seconds.
What was the breaking news, Greg?
The intern worked for public defender Jake Lockhart, who is representing Joseph Daniels, who is charged with killing his son Joe Clyde more than 2 years ago. The evidence leaked included video clips showing Joseph Daniels and his son during a sleep study and other video clips of interrogations. Lockhart told the court that he had nothing to do with the leak and fired the intern when he learned of his conduct.
no longer has access to Discovery. My interest is only to probably preserve the case and its jurisprudence of the jury to make a informed decision based on evidence.
With the leak sealed and no longer a threat, the judge decided not to move forward with contempt of court charges against the intern. It's really not clear why the intern did this or how a legal intern didn't know that this was a breach of ethics, but the judge says he just hopes this is the last of any more leaks before this case finally goes to trial early next year. In Dixon County, Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Nick. Now, in addition to the father, Joe Clyde's mother, Crystal, is also charged in this case with child neglect. They will be tried together early next year. But remember, despite many searches, Joe Clyde's body has never been found.
Have you cast your ballot yet? Early voting, of course, is underway. We have a look at the statewide voting numbers for the first 4 days of early voting. When you add those numbers up, more Tennesseans are getting out to the polls early. We know that. Here's how we compare to the first 4 days of early voting in 2016 and 2012 presidential elections. Huge difference. Our total of a little more than 730,000 is 88% higher than 2012. It's 53% more than those folks who got out to the polls this year than the same time in 2016.
In this topsy-turvy election year, Belmont University is preparing to host the next presidential debate, which will happen on Thursday. But as they are preparing that stage, a new development from the Trump administration. They want the debate topics changed. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb will be covering the run-up to the debate all week long. He is live on Belmont's campus. Jason, why the request now?
Well, Carrie, the Trump campaign says they want the focus of this next debate to reflect more foreign policy issues because the campaign says that is what both the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign agreed to many months ago. Meanwhile, preparations for the presidential debate at Belmont continue today as the stage continues to be put together inside Belmont's Curb Event Center. Now, the previously announced subjects for Thursday's debate are fighting COVID-19, American families, race in America, climate change, national security, and leadership. In a letter today, President Trump's campaign manager accused the Commission on Presidential Debates of taking side in the debate process to favor Vice President Biden. The Trump campaign ends its letter by asking the Commission on Presidential Debates to immediately reply, saying, quote, "There is no reason to consult with the Biden campaign before replying because we all know what they think." President Trump, meanwhile, today said he's continuing to prepare for Thursday's debate.
What am I doing to prepare? I'm doing this. I've done very well in debates, and you do what you do. You just do what you do. The last debate I had 2-on-1. I usually have 2-on-1 at least. And I did well on the last debate, and we did well with Savannah Guthrie based on reports. But all you can do is, look, you go around, we do interviews with you. This is like, I call this debate prep. This is actually tougher than a debate. You want another?
We should point out that exchange took place before the news of this campaign letter to the commission was released and broke later today. So far, there's been no response from the commission on presidential debates. Of course, this was supposed to be the third presidential debate this year. The second presidential debate, however, was canceled after President Trump contracted the coronavirus. Live on Belmont University's campus, Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
How are you? Jason, thank you. Now, if you run into a problem at the polls, we do want to hear about it. News Channel 5 is partnering with ProPublica's Election Lane Project, a nationwide media collaboration to track voting problems and election integrity. Text the word VOTE to 81380 to sign up for the Election Lane tip line. That's the way to tell us about any issue that you've experienced or witnessed when casting your ballot.
Closures due to COVID-19 to tell you about. The Metro Trustee's office inside the Howard office building downtown is closed for cleaning. Staffers may have been exposed to a COVID positive co-worker. If you went to the office last week, you're urged to monitor yourself for any symptoms. And in Clarksville, Rossview Middle School students are going back to remote learning this week. The district made the decision because of the amount of students, staff, and faculty who are out because of coronavirus.
Nearify, the local hospital is treating a record number of COVID-19 patients from rural communities. Right now, the state health department is reporting an all-time high in the number of hospitalizations. News Channel 5's Alexander Cohen talked to doctors at Murray Regional Medical Center to see how they're handling this.
According to a doctor here, they're treating between 50 and 53 COVID-19 patients today. It's putting a strain on rural hospitals.
We have seen a rise over the past month in our cases, and today in the hospital, we've hit pretty much a new record high.
Dr. Martin Cheney is the chief medical officer at Murray Regional Medical Center. He says they treat